You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
The Auckland FC juggernaut just keeps rolling on.
Is there a late chance here for Auckland? Maybe Moreno. It's in! With 30 seconds to go, the super sub has done it again. And Auckland are going to go home with the 3 points.
At the midway point of their very first season, Auckland FC top of football's A-League by 2 points. They have the best defence in the competition. They've got an uncanny knack of scoring late goals to win matches or to earn points. And they're attracting really good crowds. Over 15,000 expected again at Go Media Stadium this afternoon for the visit of fourth-placed Macarthur. Kick-off in that game is at 5 o'clock. Auckland FC head coach Steve Corica has joined us in studio. Steve, thanks so much for popping in on game day. Midway through the season, you're top of the A-League. What have been the one or two really key reasons, do you think, for your really good form and success so far?
I think consistency. We started wonderful with 6 or 7 straight wins. Obviously, that builds a lot of confidence, and then the players start believing, we can do this. It was a really hard pre-season as well. I think they're looking very fit as with the late goals. I think that's a lot of it's got to do with our fitness, that we just keep going until something happens. And I think obviously very pleased with the start of the season, and it's over halfway now, and we're looking good at the moment.
I want to come back to those late goals because they're such a talking point. But speaking of goals, no doubt you set them with the team pre-season. Have you had to reset your goals? No,
I think our focus was, and a lot of people probably laugh, but we're here to win trophies. I've come from Australia. We've got a lot of staff from Australia. And, the owner's very ambitious. I spoke about it before. He wants to win a trophy. It doesn't, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after, he's ambitious and he wants New Zealand football to do really well. We try to get a really good base of New Zealand players, and, it's, and we're in a good position. Still a long way to go. But the aim was still to win a trophy. And, I think, the players believe they can do it now. Took them a little while to start believing that, but they're a good team. We are a young team as well, so there should be still improvement to go. But I can't complain the way we've started.
It's an interesting approach because I think you ask most A-League coaches, players, what's your pre-season ambition? Most of them say we want to make the top 6 and go from there. Yeah. You've set your goals higher than that deliberately. Was that driven mainly by Bill Foley, or did you feel the same way too?
I think it's obviously Bill, but I've always been, my last club, obviously, they want to win trophies, and I'm motivated by that. Obviously, I've won a few already before in the A-League, and to come to a new franchise, startup club, different country, it's been really enjoyable and exciting, but still my aim is still to win.
Let's look at the team. You've got a core of 8 or 9 players who, all things being equal, play week in, week out if they're fit. The main tinkering you've done is in the attacking third. So when you are putting your 11 together and deciding who starts and who provides impact, what's front of mind when you're making those decisions?
Well, Louis Verstrate was your first pick, wasn't it?
Certainly the guy I put down first. We can get to him in a moment.
No, obviously, form, boys that have done well for me in the past. I think we're still finding our feet in attack, really. There's players been coming in and out of that front 4, if you want to call them that. But I think we've had a really good back line. Obviously, Dan Hall got injured early on, and then Tommy's come in and he's done a great job, and it's been seamless, really. He's an experienced player. He actually brings something else to the team with his leadership skills. The midfield is, pretty much been the same most of the time. Obviously now Jake's dropped down a little bit deeper in midfield as well, which, helps us with the ball. I think he dominates and he makes play for us. So, but it's just, for me, it's about consistency. If you want to, do well in the A-League, you have to be consistent defensively, but also in attack.
Would you like to be scoring more goals?
I would if we weren't defending so well. So you'd probably need to score more goals. But I think because we're defending so well at the moment, one goal maybe is enough. But, that I think that's the hardest bit in football. It's hard to teach scoring goals. It's more about, getting players into the right positions, getting balls into the box. And then really it's just execution. And, I think we've been scoring goals. I don't think we're a low-scoring team, but I think we can score more goals.
The late goals, as I mentioned before, such a talking point. 9 after the 83rd minute, 5 after the 90-minute mark. This is now more than a coincidence. Yeah. You've talked at length about why you think it happens, but do you think the more it happens, the more it's likely to happen, that the guys go, hey, it might be the 93rd minute, but we know we can score?
Yeah, it's just a never give up, never give in motto, really. And, I think once it happens and then it happens again, then, they know they can do it. There's been obviously set pieces in that as well, which, the quality of the delivery as well helps. But you got to be in the right place to do that, and momentum. And, we really dominated most of the second halves. And, by doing that, I think that creates more pressure on the defending team, and at some stage it's going to give.
You're the best defensive team in the competition by metrics, but also on just looking at the competition. What are the key strategies to your defensive formation?
Well, it's pretty simple, really, a 4-4-2. But I think for me that's the key. I think if you want to be successful in the A-League, you have to defend well, and we're not talking about the back four and the goalkeeper. We're talking about the whole team. And I think if you watch Guillermo, he's probably one of the hardest working players in our team defensively. Max Matters always also come in. So they're the front two, the wide players. They've got a tough job. I expect them to do a lot of running, and that's probably why we changed them players a little bit, because I do ask them to do a lot of running in attack and defence, and it takes its toll, and then we take them off and we bring fresh players on, and it works well.
Have you deliberately looked for physicality in your defensive players?
It looks that way because we've got a big team
at the moment. Yeah.
So it didn't really, no, not really. Obviously, we needed some height at the back. But I think with Louis Verstraete in midfield as well, he's a big boy. Even Cam Howison when he plays. So we do have a lot of height, actually, probably more than my other teams before that I've had. Which does come into favour, when you want to look for crosses into the box, set pieces as well. It's a big bonus, and we've been doing extremely well on set pieces as well. I think we're number one in the league as well, scoring them, and defensively as well. So that that helps out with the scoring as well.
Yeah, we haven't conceded a headed goal. So, so it's obviously working well. Louis Verstraete, look, I'm on record. I've liked him since the first day I saw him. What specifically do you see him bringing to your team? When we did speak to him, when we were trying to bring him to the club, he summed himself up. He is more about defence, obviously. He wants to break play up, and you can see it in his play. He enjoys that. He loves having that physical battle with the player around him. He likes to be physical. He loves that kind of work as well. And not a lot of people do like that work. They're more on the attacking side, but also I think he's very good on the ball as well. He can switch the play. He's we're talking about rest defense as well a lot, which he's is the main person for that, I think, because he sees situations to break up play, and it's very important. But also, with the ball, we want him to be, our midfielders to get on the ball and create play for us, and I think he's doing all of that. He certainly is. You've brought in one player since the window's been open, Australian attacker Marley Francois. Are you pretty happy with the squad, Steve? Any more additions coming?
We were looking at maybe trying to bring in a centre-back in to replace Dan Hall, because he's still got another 5 games, I think, out. But at this stage, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We had 1 or 2 that we were looking at, but we obviously want to bring players in for a reason, to strengthen the squad. And if we don't think that's possible, well then, I think Tommy's doing a great job. Nando's doing a great job. If we have to change any of them at some stage, obviously Hiroki can play there as well, and Callan Elliott can come in. So we do have options. it'd be great to have Dan back as well in 5 weeks, because he had an amazing start to the season, and there was a lot of talk about him, how well he's doing, and maybe getting a call up for the Socceroos as well.
It's been clear from your sideline emotions this season how much this team means to you already. It hasn't been that long, only a few months. Has it surprised you how much this team means to you so early in your time here?
Yeah, obviously, I spent a long time at Sydney, 19 years, and I still, have really strong feelings for them. But when it comes to football and, playing against them, for instance, I want to win. And, we've had a great start here. But, when I come here for a reason, and, I get right into it. We've worked extremely hard to this point, not just myself, but, we have a great coaching staff. I think we've brought in the right players. They're great people, and they're willing to sacrifice and to work hard for everybody. And, it's going nicely. But, yeah, I'm just, happy to be here. And, really the supporters have been amazing as well. Turning up at, their home stadium today is going to be amazing against Macarthur. They've always turned up, the Port, and all the other supporters, and got right behind us. And, people are talking about football now in Auckland.
Team culture, just want to ask you briefly about that. Every team says, oh, hey, well, they want it. A lot of teams say, hey, we've got it. Auckland FC appear to have it. And it's not something that can happen immediately. How and why do you think the culture has happened so quickly within your playing group and within your football club?
Well, like I said, you bring good people in. I think they buy into the culture. We're a new club anyway. I think the culture starts from the top, starting from the owner, the CEO, and then it filters down. Obviously, my part to play in it is massive as well as a coach, and Terry McFlynn as director of football. And, we want to bring out the best in players, and we want them to believe in what we can achieve for New Zealand football. We want to be the first team from New Zealand to win the A-League. And, by bringing in the right people, the culture, I think, is pretty simple. They want to be better. They want to, win. So it makes it quite easy for us, really, if you've got the right people, especially the more senior players as well, and they buy into it. Everyone, we've got a lot of young players as well. They're really happy to be in a professional environment. That's probably the biggest thing, because a lot of them haven't been in this professional environment before, and there's a lot to learn for these younger boys, but, they're coming along really well.
When the game finishes tonight and you've done your media, what do the next few hours look like for you? Do you go home and watch the game? What's your post-match routine?
We normally get together with the staff and have a little bite to eat, because we're starving by then, and maybe a little drink if we win as well. And talk about the game. I think, you talk about everything, really, how good the supporters are, but also, what's happened during the game, and hopefully it's been a good game and we've won and everyone's excited. And then, obviously the next couple of days is more about looking at the game again and doing a review, and, picking up little points where we can improve. So that's the main thing. I think you learn a lot from, winning and losing. They say a lot more from losing, but I think, it's important to look back at the games and to make sure the players know when they're not in the right position. Do
you normally sleep okay, though, once you're home?
I do. Yeah, I do, actually. So
it's been mainly wins, Steve, so I'm sure you do.
Yeah, no, I think, we've had obviously a great start, but we did go through a period that, we didn't pick up a lot of points, and that's normal. That's going to happen during the season. I was quite happy with the response of our players and how they wanted to get back on track. And after a loss, we bounced back, which was great. And we've played some tough teams. We've played most of the top teams now. I think we have, and it's about making sure we turn up every game. The A-League's no games are easy. We got turned over by Perth, which were down the bottom, and you have to turn up every game and make sure you're ready. Otherwise, it could be a difficult day. And if they do that, I think they've showed before they can beat anyone.
So you reckon you can win the whole thing?
Of course, I believe that. And I think, like I said, the players are starting to believe it now, and they're growing in confidence and belief, and hopefully. You need a bit of luck, as Chief would say. No, you do. You need a little bit of luck along the way with injuries and sometimes in matches that that they don't take their chances when they come, and I think we've had a little bit of that, and if we can keep going in that department and keep everyone fit, I think we have a good shot.
Great half season so far, Steve. All the best against Macarthur this afternoon. Thanks for stopping in for a chat.
Thank you.
It's Steve Corica, head coach of Auckland FC, with us in studio here on Weekend Sport.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.